guys, welcome back to my channel, and thank you guys so much for stopping by with me today. In this video I'll be showing you guys the crochet method that I use when I'm doing the 4 individual look. So it actually makes it look like I did the crochet individually. This is my first time actually doing it this way, but I've done like a few other methods on my channel, which I'll link in the description down below. So first what I'm going to do is use the Shine and Jam gel just to help me to section to make the parts as crisp as possible. To be honest, I don't always use it, but I'm just showing you guys how you could use it. And here I'm showing you guys how, I kind of take a guide of how big I want each section to be. So in the front you're going to have 10 rows. So it's going to be 5 rows on one half and 5 on the other half. From the first row, I make 2 box braids, right? So I'm going to braid the first one in the front, and you just need to braid it like halfway. You don't need to braid out the entire thing. Actually, you could just braid a few times and then do like a 2-strand twist. And what I do is I just make 3 sections in the second box and just include the first braid into that section, right? And then just braid it. It's pretty simple, very easy to do. It might only take you a little time. This actually took me like 1.5 to 2 hours, depends on how fast you move, but it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and I actually really love this method. Now moving on to the second row, I'm going to make 2 box braids from this section just the same, because you want to give the boxes a little bit of space, because you don't want to have too much a bulk of braids, especially in the front of your head. So under each box braids you're gonna insert 1 crochet braid. So yeah, so from the first row I did 2, the second row I did 2, and then when I move on to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th row, it will be 3 box braids connected, right? So as I mentioned, when you get to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th row, it's going to be 3 box braids, right? Just like I'm showing you guys there. So yeah, the process is pretty repetitive. So what I'm going to do is just show you guys how I complete 1/2 of the front. And did I mention that I section my hair in the front from one ear to the next, just straight across? Pretty simple. The parts don't have to be perfect. So that's what that half is looking like. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing onto the next half, and then we'll do the back. Now moving on to the back, we're going to have 5 braids going down in the back, but I'm going to make a row of individuals in the back, just so when you put the hair up in like a ponytail or you styling the hair, you still get that individual illusion in the back also. So I just sectioned the row in the back, and from that row I'm going to make like 4 box braids. Now the 4 individual in the back is complete. I'm going to show you guys how I complete that middle section right there. Now I'm going to make 5 cornrow braids in this middle section. So basically 2 of the rows in the front will be connected to each of the braids going down to the back. So I just part it along the two to like kind of match up with the two in the front, and then just braid it down. And then as I get like about 3/4 of the way down, I include one of the single braids in the back. Okay, now we have 4 braids in the back, so that means one of the cornrows that's coming down from the middle will not be connected with a single braid in the back. So I'll show you guys how I do that. So yeah, for every 2 in the front, you're gonna section the hair in the middle going down to connect with the 2 from the front, right? Hopefully that's making sense so you guys can see what I'm saying, right? So you're gonna include 2 rows from the front into that 1 cornrow braid going down to the middle. Then as I get halfway down, I'm gonna include the cornrow braid that we did on the first row in the middle. The first cornrow braid, you include it with the second one, braid it like 2 times. Then you include the single box braid from the back into that cornrow also, and then braid it down. Now doing it like this is gonna prevent the bulking in the back, so that when you do put your hair up, it's like it looks as realistic as possible, right? So that's why I do the method like this. You could have braided them all the way down and then like sewing them across or something like that, but I find that when you do it this way, it is less bulky. Now moving on to the third corner, which would be the middle corner that's going to connect the 2 middle braids in the front. I'm just going to make that section and then braid it down. As I get about halfway down or so, I'm going to include the end of the second braid, which also has the first braid in it. I'm going to include the end of that into the braid and then braid it a few times. And then I will include the single box braid in the back into that third braid and then braid it down, right? Now including the third braid into the fourth braid and then just braiding it down. This one does not have a single box braid in it because remember, as we said, it's 4 box braids in the back and we're making 5 cornrow braids in the middle, right? Now moving on to the 5th and last one, you're just going to do the same thing. I use the conditioning gel just to help me to lay down my flyaways, and then I'm going to include those 2 rows in the front into this box, into this cornrow braid, and braid it down. Now the difference is we're not going to add the ends of the 4th one into this braid. We're only going to add the single braid in the back into the braid as we're braiding down, right? So when we're finished, we'll be left with 2 ends to tuck away, and I'll show you guys how I do that, right? You don't want to include the 4th one into this end one because you don't want the ends to be bulky. So now what I'm going to do is take the end of the 5th one and I'm going to crochet it under the 4th braid, right? So I'm going to crochet it under the braid on the inside, not on the end braid, to prevent bulkiness. You can also sew it down if you want extra security, but this stayed in for me, and you can also use bobby pins. Then I'm going to take the end of that one right there and I'm going to crochet it under the middle braid. So right, take the end of the side one, crochet it under the second one, the end of the second one, crochet it under the third one in the middle. That's what the finished look looks like. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see the style that I do, please be sure to check out the link down below. And until the next one, bye guys.